Good morning. Hi, this is Michael, and we're doing another video today. And this time we're going to be talking about resiliency. Being resilient is something that is key in the military because of the fact that you are pushed out of your comfort zone every day. You know, you have to deal with people, you have to deal with situations that normal people don't have to deal with. Your life is constantly moving forward. The objective is to make the changes that are needed uh, in your life to move forward with your life purpose every day. Resiliency can be summed up as to be strong in the broken places. That's why in the military it's good because you have a purpose and you have to keep things moving forward. There is no certain time or place to get resilience. Uh, if you're not resilient, you can start now. Resiliency is not something that can be gotten. It is by being resilient that has gotten me to the point in my life. I believe a lot of people in the military are resilient because they are pushed out of their comfort zone. Who remembers the first day of basic training? I was 18, just graduated high school 2 days before. Now I had 4 grown men yelling at me, calling me all kind of names, and I was being and telling me to line up here and there, and I was being pushed out of my comfort zone. It is by being resilient and not giving up that got me through basic training. You probably heard people say resiliency is bouncing back. If we were a rubber ball, then that would be the definition that we would use. However, that's not the case. A 19-year-old boy leaves home for a year for a long deployment to Iraq. In a year's time in combat, he cannot go back to the time to that 19-year-old boy. He has found a way to integrate that war into his life. Why do you want to be resilient? Just wanting resiliency is one thing, but why do you want it? You know, if you're still stirring the pot looking for your why, it's time that you spend. It's that time that you spend that you could be doing your why. Your why is at the center of you. My why is to help veterans. I feel like the only people who understand that is my brother and sister veterans. It is resilience, see, that makes a difference. You have to be resilient in the bad times as well as the good times. If something happens makes you happy, being resilient leads to excellency. We can build excellency and flourishing into the world, but we can't rebuild the world. 3 points about being more resilient. You can develop resilience, and you have to do the work. In other words, nobody else is going to do the work for you. You can develop resilience. It is possible to change your character, and it is possible to change the direction in your life through resilience. You can develop resilience. It can be given. It can't be given or bought. You have to do the hard work in building it. And finally, to change your life, you have to change the habits. It is not the biggest moments of life that most of the change occurs, but in the small little moments of 1,000 days that makes us who we are. So in giving you an introduction into being resilient, it's this thing that you have to want. You have to. I don't think I ever wanted to be resilient. I don't think I ever had that moment where I said to myself, I'm going to be resilient. I think it came down to just doing what needed to be done, and in turn I developed resiliency because of that thing. So for us in the military, I think we had a point in time where we had to make a choice whether or not we were going to fail or be be successful. You know, and of course, most of us that made that decision was in the in basic training, because that was the first time that we had been pushed beyond our comfort zone, and we had been made to say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. You know, so I want you to look at being resilient and what it takes and what it is. You know, so I think that being resilient is about being responsible, and I don't think there's any other group that doesn't duck the responsibility, but we take it head on, and that makes us pioneers in that way of doing things. You know, most people duck the responsibilities. We take responsibility for our actions. We take responsibility for our mistakes. So I just want you to look at yourself and say, am I resilient? And if you're not, then you can start being resilient today. So thank you for your time. Y'all have a good day.